Blizzard might have accidentally showed something that explains a large portion of the plot and a decision you'll have to make in the expansion that's coming for Diablo 4. This is a bit of a theory, but follow along with me here. So Blizzard had their Diablo 4 campfire chat, was their big developer update in which they talked about rune words and all that we covered in the previous video. But there was something that happened during the campfire chat that people noticed and continued to hound them about in the Twitch live chat. And they were actually reading the Twitch live chat. It was a remote campfire chat, and so everyone was on their computers at home, and they kept calling out comments in the campfire chat. So when it came to the Q&A, people continued to ask them about this until they answered it. Now, this is seemingly innocent, just 2 new mythic uniques coming to the game, but if you notice on this one right over here, you're going to see 200% damage to angels. Angels? Obviously, I wasn't the only one that noticed this. Like I say, everyone noticed this. Immediately, everyone starts spamming, like, what the hell? Like, there isn't any angels in this game other than Inarius. My first reaction to this was, maybe this is a placeholder item or leftover or something. Like, sometimes that happens in the images, or, oh, this doesn't really make too much sense in terms of the monsters we face. But then they talked about it at the end of the Q&A.
I don't know, Charles, you want to answer this, or if you have additional details. There's a lot of questions related to one of the mythic uniques, and it's additive damage to demons and angels specifically. I don't know if you want to talk about
I will confirm that is the wording on the effect. Plus damage to angels and demons.
There you go, guys. We'll just leave it at that.
Okay, so everyone's cheesing it up, trying not to laugh too hard. Obviously, this is something that they can't talk about yet. So there's only 2 realistic options here. One, this is a bit of an oopsie daisy because they showed the mythic uniques, that these are the 2 new mythic uniques, and they wanted to show those, and they forgot it literally shows angels on there. Or 2, it's a giant teaser for the expansion, and angels are coming, baby. Either way, I started to do a little bit of digging to try to understand how this actually makes sense in the context of the game. So this is the closing cinematic of Diablo 3 when you beat the game.
My brethren, I will take my place among you once again, but this time as a mortal. Since justice has been met this day, I will now stand as wisdom. On behalf of those who risked all to save us. Forevermore, we shall stand together, angels and men, in the light of this glorious new dawn.
So that doesn't really seem like we're supposed to be fighting angels. Okay, so you might be wondering, well, DM, there was an expansion for Diablo 3. Doesn't the end of that one have something different? Well, I'm going to show it to you. Now, at the start of it might seem, well, actually humans, the Nephilim, angels, they all seem to be getting along great. But then it gets kind of interesting.
The Nephilim have done the impossible. By conquering death, she had redeemed the angels and saved all mankind. In that moment, with victory at hand, I saw the Nephilim in a new light. She is a hero who can defeat the champions of heaven and hell, and a barbarian who protects the innocent. But within her beats a mortal heart that will one day be tempted to corruption. On that day, will she have the strength to resist? Or will she be our doom?
Well, now, that is interesting. It's set up at the end of Diablo 3 expansion that there's a bit of a choice that the main protagonist there might have to go light or go dark. And it'll also set up that the angels, including Tyrael, kind of sees him as a potential threat. Now, at the end of Diablo 4, you kill Lilith, and it fades into showing a shot of Mephisto in the background. Then in the expansion cutscene, we see Nyrel traveling until we see this vision of her basically being inside of Mephisto, sort of solidifying the vessel of hatred, the title of the expansion. The Mephisto's looking like the big bad of this coming expansion, obviously. Now, what's interesting about the eternal conflict is it's the heaven versus hell. And while the games might feel like you're just plowing through a bunch of demons, it's not actually that the demons in hell are trying to kill humanity. It's that we're stuck in the middle between heaven and hell in the eternal conflict, and the occasional angel might be around because we're sort of on the same side trying to accomplish something similar, or in the case of Tyrael, is trying to help humanity out, then steps back to his rightful place, this time as wisdom, in order to try to make humanity and angels be able to fit together in a little bit more coexistence. But the angels themselves don't really even like the humans. In fact, in Diablo 3, when we were going back to the heavens in order to try to save the heavens from Diablo as the Nephilim, Imperius, the Archangel of Valor, is basically shit-talking you the entire time and is threatening to straight up just kill you if you get in the way while he's trying to stop Diablo. You have basically no respect on your name at all. There's some lines when you defeat Lilith that are kind of interesting in this conversation. Let me show you.
I gave you free will, and you've squandered it, wasting it on a crusade you don't understand. You chose tyranny when offered freedom, a poor legacy for my gift.
You know, what if we just agree with her? What if when the expansion comes out, we're sick of being stuck in the middle of the eternal conflict, and we're always just fighting the demons because demons bad and they seem to be the ones that are attacking humanity? Maybe we decide to join the demons and instead attack the angels. Maybe that's the decision you make, to give into the vessel of hatred and join the demons to invade the angels, or maybe you join the angels to deal with and fight the demons. And what if some of the angels actually are sick of it too and decide to join in on the eternal conflict on the other side? They recently added these wings. These are called the Wings of the Damned. Originally, these wings weren't even going to be part of the pre-order. It was only these ones. But now we have sort of a light and dark version of wings. So why do we suddenly get a second pair of wings? The pre-order has already been out. They just added this as an extra bonus. People have already purchased the pre-order. And who is the damned? Wings of the Damned? Who is the damned? Furthermore, what's interesting is the passive ability on this mythic unique is give in to hatred and earn Lilith's favor. Slaughter enemies to briefly steal Lilith's favor from nearby allies. So giving in to hatred and earning Lilith's favor. So what if Mephisto ends up being like kind of a big deal and we can't deal with him alone, and we end up having to make the decision that, hey, Lilith was right. We somehow go on a quest to resurrect her and use her to defeat Mephisto, or we end up looking to the heavens and say, okay, angels, help us out, and we join the heaven side of it, and we have a decision to make. Now, granted, this could all be one giant reach, but it's just a theory, a game theory. Either way, for multiple games, they have been portraying humanity and the Nephilim as a threat against the heavens. So what if we actually get to be that threat against the heavens? I'm going to leave you with the line that Tyrael drops himself.
On that day, will she have the strength to resist? Or will she be our doom?